Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In today's video we're going to be fixing a broken air vent in my MGTF. So what can be a common problem on MGTFs and Fs is that the air vents, the vanes in the air vent, don't all move when you move the centre bit up and down. So you can see on mine, this top one doesn't move. Now what it is that there's a bit of plastic that runs down that side there on that air vent, and then down that side there on that air vent, and what that does is as you move the middle one, it moves the others behind it. And what happens is that piece of plastic at the back breaks off, so you can see actually it's not holding that top one. It'll move it up and down, but it's also loose, and it breaks off. So you sometimes find that bit of plastic just disappears off into the air vent. Now fortunately for me, I did manage to find the top bit that has broken off. So when we get the air vent off, we'll have a look and you'll see that air vent and the bit of plastic has broken in half. So the job for today is to get this air vent out. With it out, we'll then be able to hopefully get to that bit of plastic. We'll take that out and then we'll glue it back together and reattach it onto there, so we'll have moving air vents again. So the first thing to do is to get the air vent out. Now the centre air vent has got, I think it's 4 metal clips that hold it in place. One about there, and then another one there, and another one there. So if you've got a trim removal tool like this one, you should just be able to put this in behind there and then lever it out. So that's what I'm hoping we'll be able to do. So pop it in behind on one side, push it out, you see it just pops straight out, and then put it in on the other side, do the same thing, and then you go. It is as easy as that. Now what I have heard is that the first time that you take these out, it's quite difficult because the clips are obviously fixed well in place. The second, third and so on time of doing it, much easier as the clips loosen off a little bit. So that's it, we've got this out, and what we'll do now, take it inside and we'll dismantle it, try and get to that bit of plastic, glue it back together, and then pop it back in the car and hopefully have a working air vent again. Okay, so we're inside now. We've got the air vent on the table, and what we need to do in order to get access to the broken vane is to take the front of the air vent off, and that should give us access to the broken bit of plastic. The piece that came off, which I found inside the air vent, is this little one here. So what we're going to be looking at doing is gluing this back onto the other half that's still attached to the air vent. So to get to the inside here, what you'll need to do is to lift out that. The end goes over that little bit of plastic there, that lifts out just like that one. Then you've got those 2 clips and those 2 clips, and with those out of the way, that looks like it's now going to lift straight out. So what I'm noticing is the vanes then fall out. So we'll have to try and put those back together once we've got it all out. So there we go. That's the vent out. And we'll put that to one side. Now you'll see this one is all in one piece, and it is that bit of plastic that runs along there that we're going to be trying to put back together. And here we have the broken one, so we'll just disconnect that from there and from there, put them to one side, and then we've got the broken piece here. So now I'm hoping we might be able to get away with gluing this. Now I can see in the middle of there is a little hole. Now what we could possibly be able to do is put a little bit of a pin or something in the middle there just to strengthen it slightly. So I'm going to go and see if I can find something that might fit in there that's small enough just to reinforce that plastic a little bit, because it does make me a little bit nervous that if we just super glue it, which we've got our super glue here, that in time that will break again. So we need something to try and reinforce it slightly. So what I've found is that the hole is really small in the middle of the bit of plastic, but what does seem to fit in there is a piece of staple. So I've cut up a piece of staple and we're going to use that to push into the middle, just like that. And then what that should do, should hopefully strengthen the join a little bit better, which might mean that it will last a little bit longer. At least that is the plan anyway. I'm not going to be expecting this to be a perfect fix, but this is just going to at least be better than me having to spend more money on a entirely new air vent. So there we go. It does fit in really nicely and should hopefully help to strengthen that joint a little bit. What we'll do now is get the gloves on, because we're going to be using some super glue, and then we will start the process of gluing this together. So with the gloves off, we will take the super glue out and we will just put a really small amount of super glue on the end of this side here. Just check that the glue comes out. There we go, it does come out. We'll pop that on there. I do always find personally less is more with super glue, mainly because there's always a risk when you put too much on that it comes off and sticks to other things that you don't want it to. So those two sides are now together. So I'll just hold this for a little bit, just whilst it goes tacky. I'm trying to hold it in position, and once this is hardened off a little bit, or hardened off completely, when that happens, we'll then reattach this to the vanes and get this fitted back into the car. So just whilst we're waiting for that piece of plastic the glue on the plastic to dry, what I'm going to do is just give the vanes that have all been taken apart here a good clean before we put them back in. No other reason than whilst it's out, we might as well clean them up, because you'll see they do get absolutely filthy just from the air blowing through over the years and the dirt and the dust, so might as well give them a nice clean. Just clean the inside of the air vent as well as best we can. I'm not going to be dismantling it and cleaning there any more than what I can see, but just what I can see. And I'll just take the air vents, the vanes off the other side, and we'll give these a nice wipe as well. Make sure both sides are nice and clean before they go back in the car. And again, whilst we're waiting for a little bit of plastic to dry, I'll just show you how you reattach this side, which is still in one piece. So this one's just come off, so we'll just clip that back onto there. So to refit this back into the air vent, what you need to do, remembering that that bit of plastic down the back of the vanes runs down the left hand side of both air vents. So with that in mind, the next thing you need to do is remember that the forked bit of plastic on the back lines up with a very center vertical vane in the air vent. Line that up there, pop that in, and then from there what you are aiming to do is to have these line up with the notches in the plastic as they go down, and luckily for me 3 of them have lined up perfectly first time, which is really unusual. With those in place, you then can see that it moves left to right and up and down. So our piece of plastic and our glue has now set, and what we will do is start putting this all back together. So I will clip that one onto there, and these should just clip in, obviously being very gentle with this one that we've just set. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm not expecting that to last forever, and it may be that in the coming years we'll need to buy a new air vent, but it's gotta at least do me until then so that I've got a working air vent again. So last one to clip in, so they're all clipped in, and we do a repeat of what we did before, so just lining these up and then popping it back into the air vent. And as you can see, it works left to right and up and down, and including the very top one, which is the one that had previously detached. And what we'll now do is not that, being very careful. So what you'll need to do in order to make sure that the veins don't all drop out from the notches that you've just sat them in is put it back in place upright. So if you remember, there's some clips along the top and then those bits on the side which go over the plastic clip that sticks out on the edge. So we'll put that on the edge first. So roughly in the right place, and then we'll start pushing it down. Lever that one over there and that one over there, and then we just push it down, and that clips straight on, and we should hopefully have a working air vent again. So that is fully open, fully open, fully closed, fully closed. So we're now back out the car. The air vent is fixed, and what we're going to do is just pop this back into the space that we've got here, just like so. All it does is just push straight in. You remember there's the 2 clips at the top, 2 clips at the bottom, so just push it and you'll hear it clip back into place, just like that. So there we have it, job done. The air vent is fixed. The bit of plastic attaching the veins together is all glued back together, all in one piece. So not a complicated job, really easy DIY. It's not a modification anyway, but sometimes those little things make all the difference in terms of fixing and maintenance on a car. Hopefully you found today's video interesting, useful and helpful. If you did, do give the video a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Until next time, I'll see you soon.